4 times Sheldon Cooper was wrong. Sheldon makes the joke that the X in X-Men is for Charles Xavier. However, according to this comic page, the X does not stand for Charles Xavier. It in fact stands for extra power. Sheldon calls spraying people with water as negative reinforcement. However, negative reinforcement is different than punishment. As you can see here, there are 2 different forms of punishment. Positive punishment, where you add something that's a negative stimuli, and negative punishment, where you take away something that's good. Negative reinforcement is the removal of bad stimuli. However, he is correct that positive reinforcement is given the chocolate, because he is adding something pleasant. When asked to guess an astronaut name, Sheldon guesses the name Muhammad Ali, using the idea that one is the most popular first name and one is the most popular last name, but he does not take into consideration the conditions of these statistics. The conditions are that he is in the United States, so at the very least, he should have looked up the most common first name and the most common last name where he lives, the United States, rather than using the whole world. And if he wanted to be more accurate, he should have also looked it up as specifically as possible, so in his state or in the surrounding cities. Sheldon is not close to what reductio ad absurdum is. He calls it a logical fallacy, but it is really a logical argument technique that is valid. This is where you refute a statement by showing its logical conclusion can lead to an absurdity or contradiction. An example is that if denial is the first sign of guilt, then admitting you're guilty must be the first sign of innocence. However, we look at that denial means guilt, but also admission means guilt. Therefore, we know that it's not valid to say denial is the first sign of guilt. Now, I will link all the videos I have referenced somewhere in the comments or description, wherever they end up being as these apps and or websites update.